The big question, of course, is how this is all going to impact the economy and what the Fed is going to do as well. Let's get the read from former CKE Restaurants CEO Andy Puzder. Andy, wonderful to see you today. First, let's just get your 1,000-foot view of this jobs report that the White House is touting as such a positive. And Marty Walsh there, Labor Secretary, saying, remember, we're in a global recession here, so somehow that makes it okay.
Look, the report, the number of jobs created, it's a very good number. It's a very positive number. It's good for American businesses. We needed to get people back to work. I think the numbers would show people are kind of blowing through their savings accounts. The saving rate is way down. They're maxing out credit cards, so credit card charges are way up. And people need to get back to work, and businesses need people getting back to work to function. I would point out the one thing that the administration doesn't seem to be emphasizing at all is the labor participation rate went down. And if you look, since the pandemic began, we've added about 4.4 million people to the population, but we've got 5 million more people that aren't in the labor force. So you've got a lot of people sitting on the sidelines still. But look, adding 500,000 jobs, that's wonderful, and I'm very happy for the people that found work.
The labor force participation rate was not lost on me. 62.1%. It's ticking down, so it's actually going in the wrong direction, Andy, and I think that's a really important point. We were talking with Mark Tepper earlier, and he brought up the fact that he thinks, looking at the breakdown and where the jobs were here, that perhaps with participation ticking down, what you really have here is, because of skyrocketing 9.1% inflation at a 40-year high, you have people trying to make ends meet and looking for second jobs.
Yeah, I'm sure the percentage of people that are working two jobs went up, which is why you see, there were about 177,000 more people working in the household survey, and it's the establishment survey that said there were 500,000 more jobs. So they are different surveys, but there is a bit of a disconnect there, as there always is. But look, that labor participation number, as you mentioned, this is hugely important. People don't really understand what an impact that has on the unemployment rate, because the lower labor participation is, it generally means fewer people are out there looking for jobs, or actually fewer people that are considered unemployed, and it becomes much easier to reduce the unemployment rate. I think the real danger here is that you're going to see a lot of the negatives get ignored and a lot of the positives be overemphasized, which is going to cause the Fed to feel like, look, inflation is not under control. We saw wages go up 5.2%. That's certainly an indication that inflation is not under control.
Right.
And they're going to have to try and slow the economy down. So while President Biden's trying to generate more economic growth, the Fed's trying to slow it down.
I'm glad that you brought that up, because the 5.2% ticked up about 0.5%. And having been in the restaurant business yourself, talk to me about what it's like when you are a business owner, whether it's small business or large business, especially in the food services industry where costs are going up so high, to see these labor costs continue to rise higher. I was at a restaurant last night and I saw the manager scolding somebody behind the bar for throwing something out, and he said, you can't do that anymore. That all adds up. It adds up. 20 bucks here, 20 bucks there. That's how people are looking at this, because it's just getting really difficult to make ends meet and pay the rent.
Yeah, the problem right now is that everything's going up, and labor is a huge component in the restaurant sector. It's a huge component in any retail business, but labor's going up, food costs, commodity costs are going up, rent's going up. Everything is increasing at the same time, and that's not something that we've seen a lot in the past, which is why you see this huge inflationary pressure and wages going up. This is very hurtful to businesses that are trying to come out of the pandemic. They're trying to get their places staffed up again. They're trying to get consumers to start coming back to the restaurants or other retail organizations, and it's very difficult to do when you've got all these cost pressures, trying to keep your profits down, making it very difficult for you to operate the business. And like I said, labor is a huge part of this, and it definitely is a workers' market right now, although with this job report, that seems to be changing.
In the final moments that we have, Andy, can I just ask you, where you see the country going forward with respect to this issue? Some people look at this report, and you rightly point out that the unemployment rate looks lower when labor force participation is lower. They look at this report and they say, oh, see, everything's okay. We don't have any problem here. Nothing to see here. Other people are saying that we still have headwinds coming down the pipe.
We do. Look, if labor participation were the same today as it was in February of 2020, when the pandemic began, unemployment would be 5.4%. I mean, labor participation has a dynamic impact on that number. And you've got to remember, while Joe Biden's bragging about getting the economy going and all these jobs, the Fed is working in exactly the opposite direction. They're trying to bring employment down. They're trying to bring wages down to get inflation under control. So you've really got two major parts of the government here working against each other. And I think what's going to happen is we're going to end up with a stagflation economy where we don't have much growth. We've had 2 quarters of basically negative growth. And you've got inflation continuing to be rampant. And that's terrible for American consumers and for working and middle class families.
Yeah, stagflation, we've seen it before, is very, very uncomfortable, and it makes it difficult for American families to thrive. Andy, thank you so much. Really good to see you.
Thanks, Jackie. Same here.